Welcome to All Horse Racing All the Time. I'm your host, Al. We have a terrific, exciting show here lined up for tonight. We're going to be covering the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks. Let's lead off with the Oaks. And then we also have some picks. Robert's done some work. We're being joined by a guest tonight. Now, he's joined me for shows before. We've given out some tremendous picks. Actor Robert Funaro. Many of you know him as Eugene Pontecorvo from The Sopranos. He was on the show for seasons 3 to 6. Robert's also done work in movies, The Irishman, American Gangster. So he's worked with a lot of the big names. He's been on TV series, Ray Donovan, Law and Order, a tremendous movie where Robert was in and had a leading role, a starring role, put on an acting tour de force in Charlie Mantle. You may want to look that one up. Beautifully shot, catches the night scene in the New York City area. It's a crime drama, and the seedy elements of the New York City area, as well as its beauty. So you may want to check that out. So with that, we're going to bring actor Robert Funaro on. Robert, good to see you. How's it going?
Got my goggles on. I'm ready for the Derby, man. Let's go.
All right.
Eugene's he's weighing in at 175. It's a little bit heavy, man. How you doing, Alan? It's great
awesome.
to be
I'm good. I'm good.
Wonderful intro. It's really very nice of you. I just wore my goggles for my racing fans out there, man. You know.
So Robert, what some of you might
not know.
Let
me show you what I do when I get a little dirt in my face and I'm at the Derby and going, look. The thing is, I don't have the other ones. No, great to be here, Alan. Great to be here, man.
And Robert has joined me in the past for some shows and given out some tremendous winners. Together, we've done it before, so we're looking to bring you some winners home for this big Derby weekend, kicking off with the Oaks tomorrow at Churchill Downs. And Robert, he's knows his horses. He has a very strong handicapping style. And what do you look for most, first and foremost, when you start off looking over a card? Now, Robert, we're going to cover the Oaks first. And then Robert has done some work on some of the races leading up to the Derby. And he has looks like some live ones in there. And he's going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to roll on to the Kentucky Derby. But what do you look for, Bob?
I mean, I have a tendency to watch the races, to try the process of elimination by the horse, the breeding, and the way the horse runs, how many races, how old is the horse, is he a Kentucky bred, especially in the Derby. Usually Kentucky breds are really strong. But I would say I'm more along the lines of a trip handicapper by the formulator, the DRF formulator. I'll try to watch as many races as I can in the field. And the process of elimination, you have to remember one thing, Alan, is that these races are these kind of days are good days because when a trainer enters their horse, in a $1 million race, they want to win. So you get the best horses in the best races, and sometimes you're surprised by a horse that, like last year's Derby, Rich Strike, but most times I think that horses run to their ability. So,
yeah. Rich Strike looked like an automatic toss, right? It looked like a gift toss, and look at what happened. So you never know sometimes. And what got me about that, I think the last couple of Derbies, I'm looking for a good Triple Crown series this year. The first one with the whole Medina Spirit stuff, and then Rich Strike wins the Derby, and then skips the Preakness, kind of blew up the Triple Crown. So looking for some good stuff today. And something else, a couple of scratches in the Derby. So both of the AEs get in, including the Japanese horse.
Mandarin Hero, I believe it's a Mandarin Hero.
Yes. And the other one, it was the Acton horse, ran a fever, so that scratched out.
Practical move, right? Or something like that.
Right. And I didn't like either of those horses that were scratched either way. And, of course, the Diodoro stuff. I know Safi Joseph Jr. Is suspended now, so he doesn't have anything in there. And so his horse was scratched out with the tragedy the other day. But let's see. We got to move on, and it looks like it's going to be an exciting couple of days. So I just want to say hello to a few people here, and thanks for joining us, those of you here. Let's see, Rich. Hey, Rich. May the 4th be with you.
Richie Lane, man. May the 4th be with you. Yes, Star Wars Day. I'm a Mandalorian fan.
And Karan, hello guys. I just came home from work. I will be listening, and good luck to everyone. Good luck and good to see you, Karan and Austin. What's up, everyone? 3 singles in the pick 6.
There you go.
Okay, and good luck, Austin, or enjoy the show. And let's see, 66 Fastback Guy just made it home from Churchill Downs. How long you been on? We just started at 9. Good luck, Fastback Guy. Great that you're over to Churchill Downs. Charles, bada bing, Robert. Hey,
Bada
Charles.
Bing, bada bing. We're going to get some Charlie B.
Was an Angel of Empire born in Pennsylvania? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is a P-head bred. That's correct. He is a Pennsylvania bred. And you're right. My brother brought that to my attention, that he is a Pennsylvania bred. I mean, I don't know. I mean, horses are different, I think, now, but, that you could take that. I mean, that's one of my picks in the race, but, take it as you come. I mean, listen, Rich Strike won last year. I don't know. You can tell me. So you throw it all out the window as far as I'm concerned,
See this, Robert?
That's a definite Fastback Guy. He's definitely got a point. He's got a big point.
And see, Robert, he knows this stuff right off the bat. Boom. Yeah, that's Pennsylvania bred. He even looked into that earlier with his brother. See, we're not horsing around here, folks.
We don't horse around.
Being a hero will be in the superfecta.
Yeah, he could be in a superfecta, but Derma Sotogaki is a better horse than Mandarin Hero. He beat Mandarin Hero, just to let you know. So I think he's a better horse, and Mandarin Hero's got that extreme wide post. Good luck.
Okay.
But, he's a good horse, but Sotogaki is better.
Gerald. Hiya, Gerald. Thanks for doing the show. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us, Gerald. The pleasure.
Gerald.
And whispers that Safi got caught with illegal substances in his barn. That's just... Hi, Al. Hey, Marley. How's it going? Hope everyone is doing well. Same to you. Good to see you. And Disarm will be in post 10. Greg Naylor. Good, everyone. Good. Hey, Greg. Good evening, everyone. Also, not sure if you heard, but Contenor just scratched and King Russell is in.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for that update there,
that's
Marley.
a great update. Thank you.
And Ricardo of New York, bring it to Belmont to Triple this year. Triple Crown. That would be great. Robert has some great picks at the Pegasus in January. See, Gerald was one of those who saw the show. We did, Robert and I did a Pegasus Cup show for Gulfstream in January, and Rob had some big hits there that day and gave them out on the show.
Yeah, we had some really nice ones. We definitely
Lithoid, hi, Coach Allen, and thanks to you and Mr. Funaro for joining us here. Appreciate your insight. Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us, Lithoid. And Fastback wasn't Medina Spirit born in Florida and Funnyside, New York. Funnyside was owned by a group over there. James, hi, Alan, Robert. Any thoughts on the Oaks Derby double? I'll be giving out selections from my contenders, and Robert will as well.
I think Alan's picks on the Oaks is a lot stronger than mine. I really didn't, but I can give you mine on Derby Day. So I'll try to weigh in a little bit, but I really
sure.
Yeah.
The same here. Robert, he has some picks that he's looked over on races that I haven't really worked on. So I'll be able to weigh in on them as well with the PPs, as Robert will be able to do on the Oaks if he sees something. But so Robert will be running those races leading up to the Derby. Not all of them, but he has some picks that he looked over in a bunch of them leading up to the Derby. So I lived 30 minutes from Churchill Downs. All right, we're going to get started. If we're looking at the cards or the PPs very quick, we're going to be studying that. So if we don't get to chat during the main analysis at times, you're not being ignored. We just want to give you the best picks possible. And so let's get started. Kentucky Oaks. We'll get that one first. Now that race, mile and an eighth, that's like the Kentucky Derby for the 3-year-old fillies. So that's the big day. That's tomorrow. Post time is scheduled for 5:51 p.m. And it's a mile and an eighth race. And I saw a couple here. But first thing that jumps out at me here, the 6 and the 7, two of the chalks, Botanical opens at 4-1. And I know it's a Brad Cox entry. It's won 4 straight with Chris Landros, but I'm a little concerned that it's run 6 career races. It's won 4 straight, but first 2 races were on turf, and then the last 4 were on that Tapeta surface at Turfway Park. I mean, impressive by the numbers, but if you consider ground loss, not just the raw Brisnet numbers, I see others that are as fast or actually faster. And this Botanical is number 6, opens at 4-1. And I really don't like it. And the other one, the actual favorite. So I'm talking about some fat ones that are going to be low prices. And these are play against for me. And the other one is Wet Paint, a closer, Brad Cox. And this one's won 3 straight. And okay, the numbers are nice. And now these 2 horses have the highest Brisnet prime power rating. And so they're ranked 1, 2, but I just want to go in. It's a Godolphin owned and Godolphin bred. And you got Cox, who's winning like crazy. He's won 28% of the races this year. Tremendous jockey, Flavian Pratt. He's winning a 21% clip this year. But one of the things I don't like about it, let me just get this one up here. Some of my notes. And then we'll go to some of the good ones. Okay. Wet Paint. All right. Wet Paint, I don't like the draw, 18. I don't like the fact that it's going to have to close. It's going to have to work out a trip. And the other thing is, when you consider ground loss, this one, no, it's not post 18, I'm sorry. It's post 7. But this one's going to have to work out a trip. Okay, just about there. Its last race was its best. It's steadily improving. Do you want to use it as a saver just because of the connections? It seems to be moving forward. Its last race was its best, I would say. G3 company. But I think others are faster in this race and have a better shot. Robert, you want to add anything about those 2, or you want me to keep going? Or
have you examined the one horse? I don't know.
This is like a Godolphin entry that's 20-1. I didn't. Let me give this one a glance. I passed it by. I wasn't crazy about it. Let me just give that a double check. Thanks for taking a peek at that. We might be having a bomb right here. Mimi. Okay, number 10. No, number 1. It's won 3 straight.
Yeah.
I think it's up against it.
Yeah, I hear you.
The others just considering the trips and that it's gotten good trips and then, but in raw speed, you get ground loss, etc. I see others that look faster. It would really surprise me. I think it. I'll tell you the one that really jumps out at me, and is a price. Okay, number 14. Pretty mischievous. it's running some nice races. This is another one. You notice it's been running, getting caught wide in its last couple of races. So those races are much faster than they looked. And you got the trainer, Brendan Walsh. I think 14 is a must use for me.
What kind of number? What kind of numbers? Let me see the 14. What kind of numbers has the 10 ran on the Thorograph? The 10 horse.
Number 10. What's the name on the 10?
The 10 is the Flying Connection, Todd Fincher's horse.
Now, this one has big early speed and as a price. Flying Connections. Let me just bring that one up. Matter of fact, I have 10 with a question mark here next to it on my notes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be inside Flying Connections.
Moves up in class.
Okay, let me bring this one up.
He moves up.
I think here's what concerned me about that. What about coming from a small circuit like Sunland?
Yeah.
It does. The race 2 back was pretty good. The thing I like best about Flying Connection is the early speed. It will be part of the speed, and maybe it gets a jump on the field. It's won 4 out of 5.
And what of no, I don't even want to mention.
And it looks a little slow.
Oh yeah,
slow. But it's fast early.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the prime power rankings on this. 7th. Never run at the distance. Geez.
This looks like an open race. I don't know.
Yeah, the one that caught my eye is number 12, who opens at 20-1. I think this one's going to wind up being the pace of the race. This one might try and steal it. 4 out of 8. It's another one.
Fourth Vader.
This one I love. I love the pace. It's early pace.
And
I just want to look at its number here, Darth Vader. This one has a race. I mean, the race 2 back where it won by 4 3/4. I mean, that's ballpark here, and just as good as put it into perspective, just as fast as the two chalks, 6 and 7. I thought the 12 was interesting just because of the pace.
Why is the 5 a throwout? I don't understand. He ran in the Breeders' Cup. He won the Breeders' Cup. The Breesy Juvenile is carrying. Why is he a throwout? I don't understand.
A Wonder Wheel?
Yeah.
He's 2 for 2 at Churchill. Let me bring him up here. All right, he gets a nice post. From the speed figures, he looks too slow for me.
Yeah, actually, all right. Just, I mean, I don't really.
Some of these Brisnets and buyer figures, whatever you're using, they can be misleading.
Right.
And I don't like that one at all. Another one that looked interesting to me, and Mark Cassie. Okay, it was. I know the post. is not the best. Number 16, Julia Shining. Now, wait a second. No, that's an A. That's an AE.
And what about the Motion's horse, the 13?
Affirmative Lady. Johnny V. Graham Motion out. Let me just bring this one up. Affirmative Lady. Now this, okay, hang on. Okay, it has a should be able to get position. Ran quick last time early with Sias up. Let's see. It comes off 2 straight victories. I see this one as being in over its head too.
Yeah.
Did win a G2 at Gulfstream Park. Let's see, kick clear. That's a play against for me. There was one I wanted to talk about. It had a nice race. South Lawn, number 4. For Norm Cassie. It's run here twice. I'm a little dubious about it. It didn't put up good numbers here, but lately ran twice on turf, and then the last couple of races at fairgrounds, it came back a different animal. Won by 3 1/4 and won by 8. Opens at 8-1.
It's got Pioneer of the Nile and Uncle Mo on the bottom. I like the breeding on it. You know what I mean? I think it's the breeding is nice. Kentucky bred. Windstar Farm is the breeder.
Nice.
So I mean, it says here best speed rating is well below the average winning speed. Poor graded stakes trainer record. That's the throwbacks on it. I don't know.
Well, let me just see what kind of numbers it has here, considering the ground loss. And I loved it, but let me see. Yeah, one last race, poor speed figures, best well below average. Okay, and the drawback, I'm a little concerned about the 2 races at Churchill Downs, but that was a while back, and this one suddenly has moved into form. And let me just see.
How's the speed on the 8 horse? No, he's 30-1. Mono, and he must be not that great. 30-1. Poor speed figures.
South Lawn. That's not okay.
No, Promise You to America. Was a grade 3. It's always in the money.
Yeah, South Lawn. It did move forward last race. Won the G2 at Fairgrounds. It's definitely one I'll be using. I think its running style fits this early to pressing type. The earlier speeds have been winning here this type of race more so than closers.
Well, he's been over to church. He's been over Churchill on the turf, and he has been on the dirt. Not too.
He's come back as a 3-year-old very quick. Yeah. Something happened that it's jumped forward. I don't know if the 2 races on turf woke her up. So I mentioned the 6 and 7. I'm going to play against. What type of play am I going to put in here? I don't know if I'll do anything with exactas or something like that. I'll look to get the winner home with for a double, an Oaks, Kentucky Oaks and a Kentucky Derby double, playing against 6 and 7. Because I'll give you a spoiler alert. Right now, I think Forte is going to be up against it. I'm not crazy about the post, and I think others have run comparable, if not faster races, all considered. And so I'm going to be looking for an Oaks and a Derby double. I'd lead at 12. I may do something with the 12. I think 4, 14, and 12 are the three that I'm really looking at to use in that double.
What's wrong with the? Let me ask you something. What's wrong with the 11 McPeak's horse? The 11.
Okay, let me look.
He comes back 3 weeks.
Defining Purpose. They ran big last race. Okay, let me see. A bullet workout, first of 150 at Churchill Downs, 47 seconds. Has won on this track. Excellent jock. Hernandez, 19%. McPeak is 13% in graded stakes. Okay. Wasn't even Defining Purpose. Has some speed to get in position.
That's my horse. I like that horse.
Okay, I'm just checking how he looks on. This one definitely figures. Won a G1 last out at Keeneland. Horse number, and he's number 11. Yeah, I could go there. Opens at 12-1. Massive workouts. Even the workout before the bullet, 6th of 81. As it looks right now, I'm looking to. I'll definitely use these numbers for.
You'll use the 4.
4, 11, 12, and 14. Do I want to add a fifth horse if I had to choose between the one of the two chalks, the 6 and 7? This is Protect. I don't even think it's necessary, but Wet Paint. Now that's the Brad Cox two-headed monster over there. The Torpedo Horse, 6 Botanical, and the 7 Godolphin. Wet Paint. I like at least that it has run on dirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's won 3 straight. Godolphin owned and trained breeder. Yeah, maybe considering I really don't like Forte, and I'm going to be playing against that one in the Derby.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'd lead. I think I might. I put a 7 with a question mark. We'll see what it looks like. But my big 4, 11, 12, 14, I think all of those have a shot. Great call on that 11, Bobby. And 4, 11, 12, and 14. And maybe, just maybe, I'll add the 7.
Well, I'm looking at this race right now. I think he came out. I think he was the 2 horse. Am I correct to say he was the 2 horse in the Ashland? Can you figure that out? I never.
Yeah, I can. I'm okay. That's number 11.
What was his number? What was his number? The 2 horse, I believe, right?
Where do they have the number on this thing? Keeneland 9th.
We're figuring it out for you folks.
This is last of the 7, just over 5 lengths from.
I'll tell you. Yeah, let me just go to the pace figures here.
Effortlessly Elegant is the leader, leads at 3/4 of a length. Defining Purpose second. Julia Shining goes to third. Punch Bowl is fourth toward the inside, 2 lengths from the front. Wonder Wheel fifth up on the outside.
He's
4
fifth.
lengths
He's number
off.
2 horse.
Okay. And what you see there?
Oh wait a second. He's Defining Purpose. You don't have it, huh?
Defining Purpose is number 11, right?
Yeah, that's the one that we were talking about. Let me see.
Of Effortlessly Elegant. Now Punch Bowl seeks running room, changing lanes toward the outside. Julia Shining is right there with her. Wonder Wheel is a wide fifth, 3 from the front. Defining Purpose has the lead. Into the final furlong, Central Bank Ashland. Julia Shining is contesting second with Punch Bowl. Defining Purpose in front by 2.5 lengths. Defining Purpose chased all the way to the line. Defining Purpose tries to draw alongside of effort.
We ran nicely.
First half mile 47.
You rated really nice.
The opening quarter. Effortlessly Elegant guides
rating
the field
very
up the backstretch,
nicely,
leads at a length
Alan.
and a half.
Nice
Defining
and-
Purpose
nice
second
and
by
nice.
a head. Punch Bowl is third, a half length.
Settling very nicely, Alan. We'll see.
I love it.
I mean,
And you looked at Bobby was right on it. Looked at the race here to double check things. Okay.
He ran a 98 figure, but listen, it's a shot. He gets Hernandez goes back on him, and look, you need to be able to clear on these. You got to be able to clear too. I know he's a speed. He has good speed. So that's a good work on the 29th, man. 150.
That's nuts. Yeah. It looks like they're geared up, ready to go on.
Prior to that 6 of 81, he's geared up. He's geared up. I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, he's got to win over this track. So he went wire to wire over this track. We could just say he's going to go. Speed is dangerous. So we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he won a grade 1. He might outshine these other horses, man. Look, he ran for 200. He ran for 150, a grade 2. I mean, this horse has class. That's all I could say.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to include him.
I'll put him in with your horses,
Yeah. So
411,
12, and 14. And
12,
I'll take a look at 7 just because of the connections and a good post position. Godolphin owned and trained, and Cox always dangerous. And, I'd hate to leave one out, even if it's on the shorter side, try and be a hero and then get a longer one home the next race, which, want to try and get it done.
Well, is Taxed in this race? No, Taxed is not in this race.
AE, yeah.
Huh?
And Taxed is also eligible, I think, this race. I didn't hear. I checked. I didn't hear of any scratches here, so they're going to have 14. Taxed isn't in this.
Yeah.
And Julia Shining, that's an AE also. That's the one that's and I see that AE Julia Shining, who I liked, was actually beat by your 11 in that race. I heard the name mentioned, Defining Purpose, and so great job. That's the best of what I saw here. The best news that I found out of this race is that some longer ones look just as good, if not potentially faster than the favored 6 and 7. And I'm just not going to go with. I'm not going with 6. I'm not going with the Torpedo horse here, making its first start on the dirt. I know it's Cox. I know it's 1-4 straight, but it's not for me. Maybe 7. So you want to move on to some of the other races?
Why don't we go to the Derby, because we're going to work on the Derby, the Oaks Derby double. So it makes sense to go straight to the Derby, I think.
Excellent.
So you've got the 4, 11, 12, 14. And now we're going to go to the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, and I have a 7 with a question mark. I'll think that over, but those are the 4 I like, and the 7. Excellent call on that 11.
Thanks, Alan. We'll see what happens,
So you see, hey, told you had the day off. Hey, Tricia. I like Julia too, but need to know who's riding. Irene, glad you could make it. Good to see you. And let's move on. And
Hi, Julie. Hi, Irene.
And Jennifer, hiya, Jennifer. 14 has a shot. Absolutely. I have that one with a check next to it. And you're getting some prices on these. All right. Kentucky Derby. So there's that Oaks Derby double. Again, you can play your double if you pick the winner of the Oaks and the Derby. And hey, if you got a couple of longer ones, they don't even have to be big bombs. They could turn out to be big payouts.
I was told that there was a rider switch in the Derby. I mean, I'm not sure, you know.
All right, we'll have to have a look out for that.
I think, you know,
Okay.
the formula that I have is it's not revising itself. It's not scratching, you know, it's not scratching the horses. You know, I guess they didn't get around to it. Maybe tomorrow morning it'll have
Yeah,
it.
I would think they would hope so.
You know, so I mean, Kentucky new. Let me put down new. Let me put a new Kentucky Derby. Your new Kentucky Derby field 2023. Let me see. Okay, Kentucky.
I want to say hi to Austin. I see he has a pick. He did mention, he says he's doing a cold double, wet paint and Forte.
Well, you know,
That could be very chalky, but I appreciate the pick. Let's see. Good luck. Thanks for sharing that, Austin. Wet paint. That's the 7 that last race.
I'm just trying to get the field, the new field. It's such a pain in the neck. I mean, you know, maybe they have it at Naira. I don't know, like the new field that scratches, you know. I don't know. Can you get the new field up? Because I heard Jose Ortiz is riding Angel of Empire. I heard there was a switch.
Oh, really?
Yes. I heard that Ortiz went to Angel of Empire, you know. Oaks Derby. I got it. I have something here. Let me see the Oaks Derby. Let me see what they got. Let me see what they did. Okay, I see. Okay, reincarnate. They haven't scratched practical move, and they haven't done any of the scratches. And they got Flavin Pratt. Now I heard Jose Ortiz. Let me see.
Hey, Elaine.
Derby ride. What was a day ago? You see, I don't know, Alan. I heard on the grapevine that Jose is switched. I could be wrong.
I thought Jose's on Kingsbarn, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but I heard he got off Kingsbarn. I mean, I don't know how true that is.
did he go somewhere else?
Yeah, to Angel of Empire. Let me see. Jose Ortiz. Let me see. Put that off King. We're going to get right to the race because we're taking too much time here.
All right, so Kentucky Derby, 1.25 miles, of course, $3 million purse. Holy smokes! All right, you want to lead us off here? Any horse jumping off the page at you? Is Forte a slam dunk lock as far as you're concerned in this race?
Why don't you talk about that right now? You start off talking about that.
Okay, Forte, 15 post, won the last 5 in a row. But there are some other horses in here if you consider the speed figures and ground loss, not just the Brisnet or Bayer, that have run as fast as Forte. And they got a better post. I know it's Todd Pletcher, Rapoli owned Rapoli, the vitamin water billionaire from the New York City area, and trainer of Belmont Stakes winner last year. And Irod Ortiz up, so it's going to take a lot of money. I think it's going to be way over bet. and I see some others in here that I think have a shot to upend this one.
Well, okay. I mean, I'll tell you who I like, and I mean, I like. I mean, I don't know about the jockey changes. Maybe my friend was joshing me. I mean, so we're just going to go with the jockeys that are on the horses. I heard that, but I'm not going to say anything right now. We're going to go with what's in front of us. I like the 14 horse, Brad Cox's horse. Uh, um, Angel of Empire. I like his consistency the last 2 races. I like his move in the Oaklawn Park race at 1.125 miles. It's not the greatest post position, but he's proven that he can do both. He can actually get out there too and get positional. Get some. I think I've seen him. He can get some position. What do you feel about that horse? He's a closer for sure, but he gets a bit of better post position. You know.
We talked about this race
Yeah.
the other day, and I just want to bring him up. I love him. Actually,
He is a Pennsylvania bred, as they said. So
I that's the horse. I don't think we're going to get 8-1 on this one. I think things set up for this. I think you got Brad Cox, and now Flavian Pratt was scheduled to ride this. If it's true and he's off,
I don't know if that's true. I mean, 'cause
okay.
I'm looking at the internet, and I'm not seeing anything relating to that. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to have put that out there right now. Just go with the jockeys that are on the horses on the Brisnet and Formulator.
Yeah, I'm definitely using this one in the win spot. Like, I think he has a big shot, and even to be in the exotics. And I'll be using it on top as well as underneath. If I play a try, I don't know if I'll play a try, but we'll see. But definitely will be part of that Oaks Derby double. Now I'm going to bring up another one I'm looking at here. And we talked about this one as well. We talked about it before the show, and we talked about it, and I loved it. Number 8, Mage. And you suggested I watch the replay of that race, and it was nothing short of amazing. Despite a terrible start, it finished second, now damn near beat Forte.
Yes, and he really had a 4-wide trip. And he, if you look at the last 2 races, he broke bad. He broke bad in the, let me just bring him up. The thing is, hasn't run it as a 2-year-old, which is my brother, he always brings that up, and Justified didn't. But if the horse has ability, I don't know. Everything was kind of broken in 2 for me last year with Rich Strike. He was off slow. He circled 5 wide. But his first race at Gulfstream, boy, he took control.
Oh, yeah.
He's got speed. He's got the 8 hole. And if he can do what he did last time in the Florida Derby, which is a good race, I like that grade 1 race. A lot of horses have won the Derby through that race. If he could get a trip, he's just as good as Forte. If Forte, something happens to Forte along the way, he's post 8 here, and he's got speed. So, why not at 15-1? That's what I'm saying. And you got a great jockey, Javi Castellano. Javi knows how to win this race. So, it's not impossible. I know. It's a long shot. You got Gustavo. He is a Kentucky bred. He's a Big Brown, second out of Big Brown, second out of Curlin on top.
Yeah, look at that. What? That's some breeding, Bobby.
That's not bad.
Holy smokes.
It's not bad. So, at 15-1, why not? A little exotic.
Oh, I'm definitely using.
So, you want value, so you're not going to get value at Forte, but at the same time, you don't want to throw out a horse that you really like. So if you like Forte, I understand.
Well, I say Forte is vulnerable, but I'd have to be absolutely nuts to leave him out. I'll be using him on top, and I'll also be using him in that Oaks and Derby double. My main gist of what I'm saying about this race is Forte is no lock. I'll use him. Don't get me wrong, but he's no lock.
This is the deal, everybody. You have to bet. I just want to take down my screen because I want to see you. You have to bet responsibly with what you have. I mean, look, the racing is a good sport, but you do need, I think that racing is a lot about bragging rights. And of course, we put money on races. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think at the same time, you need to make a choice. You can't, you lose, you lose. I mean, it's like you ask a girl out on a date. She gives you your number. She doesn't give you a number. You know what I mean? It's the same sort of situation in a way. So don't be afraid to not cover everything. I mean, I remember last year with Rich Track, I think I had 4 or 5 horses and I lost every one. What a waste of money.
Everyone got killed on that Rich
Yeah,
Strike.
but you can't cover every race is what I'm trying to, every horse is what I'm trying to say. You make a choice, you bet responsibly, and you go with it. So that's all I want to tell people. You know what I mean? Make a choice. Can't cover everything. Not everyone can have Forte. I know a few guys that just bet one way. I know a Kentucky, I'm not going to name names, a Kentucky Derby jockey winner who just bets one way. His exactors are one way. He doesn't reverse them. And this is what he does. He makes a choice. You lose, you lose. You save money that way too, by the way. So I think we all have to make choices. I probably won't be betting Forte. Maybe I won't. I probably won't be. I may put him in an exotic, yes, but probably not to win. Do you know what I mean? I really don't care about him winning. So, although I like Michael Rapoli, I think he's a good guy. He deserves it. But at the same time, you make a choice and you go with it. Alan, I think it's important to talk about things like this because, what is it all about? I'm like, Dermot Sotogake, I like that horse too. He drew 17. He's going to go out. He's going to try to take control from the 17 hole. I know that horse is going to go out. Crystal Lemire is going to take him out. Whether or not he can rate, I think it's going to be tough to rate. And you got to be an exceptional horse. You got to be Secretariat.
Oh, now that's number 7. What's the name of that horse? I had it.
That's the 17, Dermot Sotogake. I like.
I do have that. And you know what? That one, by the speed figures, it's actually comes off considering ground loss, etc. Ran the fastest last race and ran a race that was faster than Forte ever ran.
Is that so? Is that
yes.
so?
And it's a must use for me. And what are the odds on that? Number 17?
He's 10. I think he's going to go up. I think the odds can only go maybe 12 to 1 to 13 to 1. I don't think he's going to go down because of his post position. I'd like to have a little bit of win money on him just in case. I mean, I like him at that price. I also like our my 3 picks are basically the 3 picks I like are are the was it Angel of Empire and Madge and Domo Sotogake. I mean, but that's my feeling. But I pick Angel of Empire on top. I pick Mag as a long shot play, and Domo Sotogake, I guess you would consider him another long shot play to win the race. But I think he can land in the exotics. He has the speed.
Oh, sure.
I think he has the speed to land in the exotics. Maybe Forte also has the ability to close. But you know what? These horses got to make good trips, Alan. You know what I mean? The trips are important. That's why I say, what the heck's wrong with Mag? I mean, he almost beat Forte.
Nothing wrong. And I don't think we're going to get 15 to 1 on him either.
Well, you never know because he only ran 3 races. So,
yeah. And a lot of people are going to be scared off. All the experts are saying, well, he's an automatic toss. He didn't win as a 2-year-old. Leave the guys on TV, everything. And, it's a concern of mine too. But by the numbers, he has speed numbers that fit. And that last race that you pointed out, and watch that Florida Derby replay of a Madge, and when he damn near beat Forte despite a bad start, it came right down to the wire, and he made up ground and ran huge 5 wide. So this one, it'll be interesting to see what the odds are. I think Forte is going to be overbet. All the casual fans that want to make money, they quick money. Oh yeah, I'm putting it on Forte, and. Who knows what the odds? What do you think the odds are going to be at Forte come post time?
I think maybe he'll remain at maybe 3-1 to 2-1. You know,
Yeah, I can see him in that range.
I mean, you know,
7-2, maybe. Who the hell knows? But it's not going to be high. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, you know, it's just I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, I like in the Derby. I like positional speed. You know what I mean. All the horses that they can make position. You know what I mean. And I mean, well, Angel of Empire and Forte are not two horses that are going to make position. Do you know what I mean? It's but you know, Angel Empire is drawn a little bit, I think, better than, well, he's only one horse inside of Forte. So I guess, you know, the long shot play I have is Match, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
I'm coming up to Madge, like, you know, bought for 300,000. You know, he's a Kentucky bred, had a big brown and on the dame side, and you know, curling on the dad side. So good magic. What a good magic's numbers. Good magic ran as a 3-year-old. He won $1,641,000 in earnings as a 3-year-old. First time starters, total record. Good Magic. Good Magic won the Haskell at 1 1/8 at Monmouth. Let's see, Kentucky, May 5th. He ran second in the Derby, ridden by Jose Ortiz. He lost by 2.5 lengths to Dad.
Wow.
Dad of this horse lost. He ran first in the Bluegrass. He won the Bluegrass at Keeneland at 1 1/8 to Dad. Good Magic is a talented horse, man. I love this horse. I don't care. I don't know, whatever. You know, it's fun. Like I said, it's a fun thing, Alan. You know what I mean? You know, everybody wants to win, but, you know, you make a choice and you go with it. You know? I mean, look at the things. If you look at, I'm looking at Good Magic. Wow, this horse was a good horse. He topped out at $2,500,000. Wow.
Good Magic?
Yeah, that was his lifetime career. His lifetime career was almost $3 million. You know, Chad Brown trained him. You know, I would have loved to bought him. You know,
I'm not seeing him in this race. Good Magic.
No, I'm sorry. Good Magic is what I'm trying to say is Good Magic is the sire.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
Madge is named Madge after Good Magic. Now I'm looking at the dame side. Let's look at Puka. Okay. Puka had a big brown. Ran credibly in the Gazelle, came in second in the Gazelle at 1 1/8. And kind of was converted into a turf horse, but came back at Belmont on the 24th, won a $62,000 non-winners of 2. He won they brought him down to Suffolk. She was a pretty talented horse. I mean, she topped out at 300,000, but she's got some pretty good breeding, you know. She wasn't bad. She had some distance in her, you know. What I'm looking at is the breeding of the big brown on the bottom side. Puka, which is the mother of Puka is the mother of Madge. Do you know?
All right. Wow.
So
yeah, I see it on the.
I like the. I tell you,
out of big brown.
They say that, you know, horses take after their dads. You know, I don't know how true that is, but you know, I mean, good as anyone. You know what I mean? All right. What do you think of two? Well, let's move on. Who are your picks?
Well, one that's really I like number two breaking from the 2-hole.
Right,
And
verify.
verifying it opens 15-1 and just got beaten by a neck by Tapit Trice, who opens at 5-1, who I kind of like also. It's another Pletcher, gets Luis Saez, and at least it gets a decent post. But verifying, I definitely think is live. And you got Brad Cox trained, Gaffleone up.
Yeah, and he has some speed here to clear. He's got speed.
Yes, definitely has speed to clear.
Yeah.
He's not gonna lose ground, that's for sure, unless something goes wrong at the start. 775K purchase. Justify as the sire.
Good Scat Daddy, of course. It's always
And Justify's offspring has been doing tremendous.
yeah. That's a good enough.
I think he's one of the top sires right now. But Justify, Team Justify, he won the triple. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with this one. Should save ground, and just missed last race. I'm using him.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that horse.
Was he one that you were looking at, or?
No, I really didn't check him out. I really didn't check it out. I didn't watch his races. I didn't watch that.
And you would talk about speed figures, Thorograph, whatever. He has another one that last race was faster, just as fast as the Japanese horse. That's 17, which is faster than, to put things into perspective, a couple points faster than Forte's last race. And he's going to be saving ground, and he gets a post where key is to get him out of the gate. And he should get out of the gate because he's definitely faster early than the one hit show, and 2 fills does not really have early speed at all at number 3. But speaking of 2 fills, a lot of people talking about this one. I'm not using him. Opens at 12-1, but he gets a lot of ink based on that last race at Turfway Park where he ran a 107 Brisnet. By the Thorograph, he's not fast enough. That race is fast enough to be a contender, but was run on Tapeta. You going to bother with 2 fills?
No, I'm gonna toss 2 fills.
Yeah, because other than the Tapeta race, all the other races were just not even ballpark for this. What about number 1, Hit Show? I know the rail is deadly. This is another one that has some good numbers, figure numbers. The other numbers, and they say that one post is the kiss of death.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that post. You get buried there,
Yeah, and he's not fast enough that he will get buried, and early anyway. And then if he's forced to go wide later on to make up ground and find a spot, and he got Franco up, who no offense, but I find him as he just seems he never really developed from his early days. He showed flashes, but he just doesn't seem to have great control of the horse. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Manny Franco. I mean, he takes money every race. He's been favored in every career start.
Yeah.
I don't know. Underneath maybe in a trifecta, 30-1 shot. And it's another Brad Cox. So Brad Cox is coming out of the 1 and the 2 hole here, but I definitely like the 2 verifying.
Yeah.
And what do you think of 5 Tapit Trice?
Well, he's not what definitely not without a chance. Looking at that Bluegrass Stakes, but no, I don't think any horses won out of the Bluegrass Stakes. But maybe I'm wrong. But
is it right? Okay.
I don't think any Kentucky Derby horses won out of the Bluegrass Stakes.
I'm going to put a question mark next to that one. He's another one with a very big speed figure, the same as he's the same.
To me, he ran a gigantic race that day, and I don't see him winning, but I could be.
He
wrong.
keeps getting better.
Yeah, but he ran a big race that day. I mean, he ran hard. He ran hard that day. And just ran.
And that was April 8th. Okay.
That's my feeling with him. He ran very hard.
Yeah, his speed figure really jumped up. For the last race, he was right there with that 2 verifying and the Japanese number 17.
Yeah.
So, but if you're just going by speed figures and ground loss, 2 2, 5, and 17 are the ones that ran the big speed number last time. And it does get at least the posters inside. Pletcher, Saez. I got a question mark next to the 5. I want to see if there's anybody else. 3 I didn't like. 15. 1. What do you think about the other Japanese horse that got in there because of the scratches?
Well, I mean, if we examine the horse that we ran in California, Mandarin Hero. Mandarin Hero was
he beat Mandarin Hero. No, 22 Mandarin Hero. Okay.
Mandarin Hero.
Okay, I'm listening.
Out of Shanghai, Bobby. I mean, he's going to be drawn 22.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you make a 20? How do you play this horse? I don't know. I mean,
the third graph, he's a little bit slower than the others that we've talked about.
I think someone said that the Therma Sotoguki was a better horse, but that's what someone was saying. Maybe it was no, it was about Continua. Yeah, Continua, but they didn't even think Mandarin Hero was going to draw in. But I don't see how you make a trip out of this. I don't see how Mandarin Hero wins this race. I could be wrong, but
I don't think so either.
From the 22 hole, whatever.
Yeah, I'm the 22 with a question mark.
He's drawing really wide. So
yeah, that's not for me either.
I agree with you. Better than him, but you know what I mean? That's just a long shot. You know, my favorite pick is Angel of Empire, Brad Cox's horse. I like the way the horse ran, but you know, that's my feeling. And then Madge.
I love that horse. And it's another Brad Cox horse. He has 3 entries in this race.
Yeah. I mean, what can you add to it? I just some people like King's Barn. They say he had 3 races. You know, he's an Uncle Mo out of a Lady Tappet, which is great breeding. He's lightly raced. Some people rank him below the top contenders, but you know.
Any interest in the 10 Practical Move?
Scratched.
Oh, that's okay. That's right. Okay.
Practical Move scratched, and so was the other horse, the Lord the Safi horse.
Lord Miles. Yeah. Safi. Paco Lopez would have been riding that one.
Now, what do you think? Let me ask you something. What do you think of Rocket Can?
Number 18.
Yeah, is he slower than the other horses? I mean, this horse is going to make a big run, I think, you know. He's going to make one big run, that's for sure.
Mott Williams. Yeah. By the numbers, he seems to be on the improve. Let me just see pace-wise where he fits this. Rocket, 30-1.
He was beat by Angel Empire, you know, by 4 3/4. That's the thing, you know, and I think Angel Empire is a better horse, so.
Oh, yeah, but maybe underneath, or maybe if somebody Rocket Can, you said?
Yeah, Mott's horse.
Okay, let's get down there. Here's a couple of nice races. I mean, he's another one that's really improved the last 2. Even though the overall, and this is one that got stuck wide. This one seems to perennially run wide. I don't know what the deal is with this. 4 wide, 3 wide the race before that, 4 wide the race before that. Who's riding him? Junior Alvarado, Mott Williams. Yeah, and he's been beaten by others in here. Forte beat him, but not by 4.5, a couple back.
Yeah, I guess we got to move on. I don't know. I mean, what are your Derby picks?
Okay, the ones I'm going to be these 4. I'm actually on maybe 5, possibly 6 for the win spot and that double because we're getting some prices. I like 2 verifying the 8 Madge. 14 is the one, like you, I'm big on this one. Angel of Empire, the Cox entry. Forte, will I use him in the Derby double? I'm on the fence about that. Maybe I just want to get it done with some of these longer ones. If I use them, I might add them. I don't know, but I'll slim it down if I do in the first leg. Get on a backup ticket. but I'm playing against Forte. But I do have Forte down. He's not a toss. And number 17, Derma Sotogaka.
Sotogaki.
And I have a question mark next to 5, but we'll see. For example, if you played that double, all my contenders here, I mean, it would be $30 for a buck, right? You'll probably get it back if any of the longer ones come in. But if I throw out,
For the Forte, you got for
if I throw it,
there's dollar doubles or no?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, if I threw out Forte and just used my big 4 and didn't use the 5,
$32 for a $2 double with all the horses.
No, okay, thanks for that. The math there, Bob. But if I throw out the 7 in the first race, and the 5 in the second, I mean the price shrinks to $20. So those are the ones I'm on: 2, 8, 14, 15, and 17. I'm hesitant to leave out Forte. I might. So that's just a choice. 2, 8. 8, 2, 8, 14, and 17 are the ones I'm definitely using, though. 2, 8, 14, and 17. And how about you, Robert?
I'm gonna throw out your 2 horse.
Okay.
For the Derby, I'm gonna go with the 8, 14, and 17 for the Derby. 8, 14, and 17. I'm gonna try to hone it down to 3 horses.
And remember, we've done a number of shows together, and I'm hard pressed. He's given out big winners on just about all of them. And you see how he does, how he addresses this breeding knowledge. And he was actually looking at a replay here on the show. And that was a surprise. And so you may want to have out a pen or replay this later. But all right, 8, 14, 17. Look at it. Yeah, I really love the
picks. And then on your Oaks, I'm going to go with you with the Oaks that you said you had, because you got a good style. So I can't throw out your 4. I'll go with the 11, the one that I like, Defining Purpose.
That was a great find, Robert.
And you said perhaps the 12.
Definitely
right?
the 12. A lot of early speed.
Yeah, and he's run for some money, and so I think you can't throw him out. Why? He's a long shot. Why would you want to?
Yeah.
And Brendan Walsh's horse, the 14. I like that you chose Brendan Walsh's horse. So it's not impossible. I think you got some good numbers there. So 411. If you were to play, let's say doubles, $5 double, $2 doubles, 2, 4, 6. 6, 12, 18, $24 for $2 double. $2 doubles, it costs you $24. You cover all the horses.
Nice.
So $24 bet, you could win some balloons with that.
You're right. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, even last year, if somebody just made an exact for exacta players. Who's it? Rich Strike, and the other horse that everybody loved finished second. If they would have just taken that favorite or the horse that came in second, used it over and under the entire field for a $2 exacta, or even for $1, you would have got back hundreds. That was a gigantic exacta last year. Maybe you cover the rest of it. And what would it be? $38 for a buck, 19 buck, 19.
Well, you're gonna be at, if you do your horses, your 4 and 4 will be 32 for $2. So half of 32 is what? Is 15, 16. It costs you 16 for $1 doubles. It'll cost you 16 for $1 doubles.
All right.
Covering all the horses. You have 4. I have 4 and 3. You have 4 and 4. I mean, if you use Forte, you have 4 and 5. But I think.
Yeah, I may pass on 14 on Forte on this. And if he beats me, he beats me. I really like the others, and we'll see where it goes. Especially that 14 and the 8, I'm really eyeing. And even the Japanese horse, 17. And that Japanese horse is 1-for-1 at the distance, by the way. And, it's already $1 million earner.
Yeah. Well, that was because of the UAE Derby. But let's go. Let's move on to that. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's go to race 6 because I did start with race 4 on Derby Day. But can we go to race 6?
Yes, let me bring up the PPs. Now, I'm seeing I usually handicap the races early in the morning, the day before of that card. So I really focused on these 2 races. But Bobby here, he has seen come up with some solid horses for some of the other races on Derby Day, and he wants to. So I'm going to let Robert lead the way on this. I'll bring up the PPs though, and if I can weigh in on something a little bit, but at least I can follow along as he takes us here. Churchill Downs race 6 on Saturday. It's a stakes race, $1,175,000 race. Knicks Go overnight stakes. Knicks Go, wasn't that one a hell of a horse?
Yeah.
All right, it's 1 mile. Okay, it's 1 mile on dirt. Okay, what do you got here, Bobby?
Let's go.
I got the PP up.
Let's go. We're going to go to the 6th race, right?
Yes, I got it right up.
Okay, we're going to go to a horse. I got a hunch play for this race for everyone. We're going to go to the 11 horse, Capuna.
10-1. Okay.
Capuna. It's a hard spun out of a Malibu Moon. He's got William Calhoun. And I'm just going to tell everyone he's a 10-1. A few dollars on him. You never know. Look at his last workout at Churchill.
Holy crap, 59-2. Bullet for 5 furlongs.
Yeah.
And he has big early speed. He's going
to go a mile. He's going to get positional speed. He's just as good as some of the other ones.
Okay.
Some of the other ones that I liked was besides him was the 2 and the 3 here.
And that 11, I just want to add, it has the second highest Brisnet power ranking in this race, despite the odds. Okay, number 2.
Al Stoll's horse. These are two favorites. So, I mean, I would put him beneath it. I would maybe a 3-horse box, 1123. I like those numbers. It's 123. I was born on the 23rd, so.
Hey, and the 3, yeah, I like the 2 by the numbers. It gets Rosario, Albert Stoll Jr., always dangerous.
Baby Yoda's not a bad horse. I mean, I know he ran second in the at Aqueduct, but if I looked at his race, he looked pretty good. He only lost by 1 3/4. And he's got speed too. And
yeah, at the distance, 2 runs, a first and a second, and he's won on this track.
Yeah, look at his Churchill. He's won an allowance here. So.
Looking at running cycles and form cycles, what I like about this one is it seems to be alternating a really big race, then an off race.
Right.
Now, like if you go back 89, then the race before that, 104. Before that, 92. Then the one before that, 92. Then before that, 102. Again, over 100. Then before that, 87. And then before that, a 96.
Right.
So this one is due for one of its good one if it follows this cycle. And you can't leave it out, Mott Williams and Castellano up. And it actually dropping in class for this. So, yeah, but I think your others have a shot to a 3-horse box there.
Yeah,
what I've seen of these
1123. Why not? Hey, guys, you take a $12 shot here. A 3-horse box. You give it a shot. If you lose, you walk away. If you win, you'll win a few dollars. You will win a few dollars.
All right. Yeah, you got Calhoun, 23% trainer this year out of 274 races. And
why not?
And the jockey Gutierrez this year, he's hot to 17%.
Yep.
Knows the horse, rode it last time. And I know it was on turf, but has good, excellent dirt numbers at a price here. All right. What else you got, Bobby?
Well, let's go to the let's go to this. Let's go to race 4. Let's go back to race 4. I think there was some. This is a hard, tough race. This goes out, but I came up with And the horse is like, you know what? Let's just skip it because these horses are, I came up with really, they were really, there's no value here. So let's move on to race
Yeah,
5.
Good Night Olive is going to get crushed, and it does have the numbers. You know,
The
I
three
tried to
horses,
beat this one a couple of times, and I haven't been able to do it. And
the 3 horse is a good horse, and so is the 5. You know what I mean? The 5
the
is,
3 Wicked Halo. Hey, Wicked Halos is
and the 5 ain't a bad horse either, by the way.
Flavian Pratt.
And he's running for
Yeah,
Cox.
I mean, 2 for 3 at the distance, and a third, and he's never been out of the money at Churchill Downs.
Well, I mean, they're chalky, so let's move on from that.
Okay,
Let's go to the distaff on race 5. Let me see what that looks like. I came up with
I did write down. Okay, that race 4, the chalk. Yeah,
okay, the
I
horse.
noted your horses.
This horse here on race 5 is a turf race, the distaff. There's a horse in here that's really, I think he's going to be very hard to beat, called Spenderella. But I think Chad Brown's horses, he has 2 horses, the 7 horse, and he has the 3 horse. I think this race can only be 5-7-3, 5-3-7. That's all I can see. I see the 5-3-7 here, or 5-7-3.
5-7-3.
If I was to play this race,
5-7-3 or 3-5-7. Did you say?
yeah, I don't like 3. I don't like the 3 on top. I think Motion's horse is the horse. I watched this horse's this race here. The 5 horse.
5 is your key.
Yeah, the 5 is the
5
key.
over 7-3 or
Yeah.
7-3 over
I
5.
watched this horse win at Grade 1 at Del Mar. Boy, he looked like a monster. I think he's going to be tough to beat.
Tyler Gaffleone, yeah, connections.
He won the Grade
Grand
2.
Motion.
He comes in winning, a Grade 1, second in Britain. He's a talented horse. He's just a talented. At a Bernstein, a Dame, Japan horse on top, but Gainesway owns him, and I think he's a good horse. Now, Brad, granted, Chad Brown's going to try to beat him, but but I think he's got the edge. I think he's got the edge, and Irod's going to come running at last glance, but I think 5-3-7, 5-7-3. So let's move on.
All right.
Let's go to race 7.
Race number 7, bringing it up. Okay.
This is a 5.5 furlong as John
Turf sprint. I love it.
Jean Cruguet always said that these turf sprints, one mistake, he doesn't play them, because he says one mistake and your horse loses. So you can't go crazy on these races.
Right. I love the turf sprints, and I take shots here, but I agree with him 100% right. One bad step is it's over before you almost over instantly.
In this particular race, I like Christoph Clement's horse, the 4 horse. They're going to overbet Wesley Ward's horse, and I just don't. I based on what I seen, I don't see the Ward horse being a gigantic threat. But that's what they say. They think he's a threat in the 14 hole, whatever.
Now, what number is one you like? Christophe Clement. I'm looking for him. I got a number here.
He's a 4 horse.
4 horse. Okay. 72. Okay, gets a nice post. He's a win machine.
410. The 410 here. 4 and the 10 horse, the Ward horse. But I like Rosario on top here.
Okay, 4 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Just one thing I jumped out at me. Any interest in the other Wesley Ward? Go Bears, go!
I don't like this horse.
No. Okay. Just curious, because of the connections, Johnny V and Wesley Ward.
No, he hasn't really done anything really.
Okay. Where to?
We're going to go to race 8.
Okay, so 4, 10, and 7. We really like the 4. Race 8.
Now, there's a horse in this race that I'm just saying, I'm pointing him out. I'm not sure. I watched some of his runs. I don't think he's a bad horse. His last 2 races were in the slop. Now he's going to come back and run on the dirt. He ran at Oaklawn Park. He's coming third here at Churchill, and on a fast surface. And he's the 6 horse, Frosted Departure.
20-1. Okay. Okay. You throw those races out in the slop. And the weather, I checked the weather. It's supposed to be good tomorrow and Saturday. They're expecting some rain there on Sunday. So we're looking good so far. So,
Granted, he's got to stretch out, but he's got Tappet on the top, and he's got speed. I mean, I'm just
was a
saying,
Triple Crown nominee. Yeah.
he's a long shot, but he's not a bad horse. Is what I'm trying to say. He's ran at Churchill down at 6.5. He came in third by 1 3/4.
All right.
Hasn't run since February. Kenny McPeak.
You won by 9 here at Churchill in September last year.
61 to 180 days. McPeak is 295. His average is 295. Dirt, he's $1.82. He's in route races, he's $1.98. In graded stakes, he's $1.46. Don't throw it away. I'm just saying, don't throw it away. He's 20-1.
Okay, right. Make a note of that. Yeah, I like the race he ran back at 7 furlongs in wired the field and going away, but won by over 9 lengths. Anybody else in here? Okay, that's number
the 6, and of course the Yak-Teen horse, the 7, Fort Bragg, and the 9, General Jim, Shog's horse. Saez is riding Shog's horse. I think this is my second choice is Shog's horse. Into Mischief, inspired by Grace. He's 4-1. He's not valued, but he's a classy horse. He won the Swale at Gulfstream Park on February 4th.
Yeah, I can see this.
Brings him back. He's 1-3 at 47. His last workout. He loved the spacing of the drills coming into this race. He spaced the drills out nicely. Gets Saez, not without a chance.
I could see this. And Saez has ridden this one 3 times already.
General Jim,
Saez. Yeah, he's won 3, and he's doubled up on victories too. Back, well, they were turf races, but he looks good on dirt. 97 high. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so
the reason why I said Fort Bragg, he cuts back in distance. And if you look at his mile in the 16th in Santa Anita, boy, he was running lights out there.
Look at that.
He was running pretty good. Look at his April 23rd at Gulfstream Park, Florida Derby. Although he long start 3 wide to lead, right? He came in 5th by 9.5 lengths. But look at his first. Look at him run the mile and 1/8. It was those quick fractions. 46,
those are quick fractions.
46, 23, 25.
Those are amazingly quick fractions by the Brisnet that I'm looking at.
Yak-Teen he cuts him back in distance. He gives him a 1-turn mile. He's won at 1 turn at Santa Anita. You know what I mean? So now he puts him back into what he thinks his ability. He's at a Tappet. He's not impossible. He's 9-2. So obviously some of the people who are doing the figures here, don't think he's without a chance. So,
and the turn back, it helps because with the speed, with the fractions, this one's been running early, going over a mile. In fact, I think
maybe this year, maybe the Florida Derby is the deciding factor race. I'm not saying Forte's without a chance. I'm just saying maybe the Florida Derby is the race of the season. I'm just saying, it could be the race that the winner comes out of.
That should be, yeah. How often the Florida Derby that produces usually a lot of Derby winners, right?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do. So that's my feeling on this. What was this race? It was race 1, race 8. So we go to 9. Go to race 9, and we got a mile at the American turf, the 9. And I think here we got I like 2 horses here. I like the 5 horse. He's 15-1. Yak Teen's horse.
5 horse, 15-1.
Yeah, 5 horse.
Umberto Rispoli.
Yeah, I love Rispoli, man.
Yeah, played overseas riding champion. And okay.
And then, you can't throw out a great
Won 3
trainer.
straight. Rispoli's won 3 straight on this horse.
Yeah. And I like 2 horses here, 5-11. I can't throw out Carl Spackler because it's Chad Brown and you got Jose Ortiz on him, and it's just Chad Brown. So I don't think you can throw him out.
So what are you looking to do with that? Maybe go a double with those 2 races, or you're just going to box the 5 and the 11 and work off?
You can, I mean, I think the 5, I would box the exacta here, 5-11 box,
Okay.
I would
The
go
5 does look live. It's
5-11. I watched his run. He looked pretty good, 6.
now you notice that for you breaks looking to improve your game. You have Robert here. He watches replays and investigates the horses, and so.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely a strength here, something to keep in mind. And you see Bobby in action.
This was a heck of a race, this mile race here at this mile race. Question is, can he sustain, but he looked great on the track. I got to say, man, he's a legit player. They say, I think he's a legit player.
Strong trainer too, Yackton.
He's out of my favorite, my Derby winner, Nyquist. I like him.
You had a big score with Nyquist about it.
I did.
Now, what was the story on that?
Well, I got 125 to 1 odds on Nyquist. So,
wow, that is a hell of a hit.
Yeah.
125 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 and 11 there in race 9. Okay.
Yeah. 5-11.
So you get in a balloon there in that 5.
I skip the 10th race. I go to the 11th race. And I think the 11th race is our last race we really have to handicap tonight. So,
okay. And I'm opening the PPs right now. One of the stakes race earlier, I noticed the race name that you covered here was it the 8th race? I'm not sure. Was the Pat Day Mile or something?
Yeah.
Pat Day all day. Yeah. Okay. The Pat had to wait all day for this guy. It would drive players nuts with that, coming from the back or.
So race 11.
Hall of Famer, though. Race 11, that's a G1 Turf Classic, the Old Forester Bourbon Turf Classic. 1.125 on the turf. Excuse me. What you got?
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, Rapoli has 2 live horses, but I'll go to the other ones, then we'll go back to him.
Okay.
There's 2 horses that I think that are pretty good here. I like Motion's horse cuts back. The 10 horse, Bye Melvin. He cuts back.
I guess Masterpiece is out of this race, huh?
Back to the distance he really likes, the 1.125. I don't think he likes the mile.
What number is this horse, Bobby?
The 10 horse.
All right.
He's at Uncle Mo. I like the 10. I like the 9. I think the 9's not without a chance. I think he's a good horse. Rosario stays on this 9 horse. He's an English Channel. Love English Channel. At a Spooky Kitten, out of Kitten's Joy. He probably would be my top pick here, this horse, the Spooky Channel. And then, then there's the inexperienced horses of Todd Pletcher. Well, I wouldn't call them too inexperienced. They're pretty good horses. They've won a considerable amount of money. The 4 and the 5 horse, Jose and I are riding the 4 and the 5 horse. But let's look at them one at a time. Let's go to Bye Melvin. Take a look at his numbers.
Bye Melvin.
Right.
Okay. What number is he?
He is the 10 horse.
Okay. Okay, 102 Brisnet, good early speed, and
Remember, there's only 10 horses in this field. We don't got to clear a lot of horses. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to get crazy.
I noticed a horse in here, the number right. I noticed. I wonder if there's a scratch in this race because the 2 was by Safi Joseph Jr. Masterpiece.
So he's scratched.
Okay, so the 2's gone. Here's Safi. Okay, 10. The numbers are big. He has multiple races over 100. At the distance is one at the distance. He's never raced at Churchill. Manny Franco. Franco's actually having a good year.
Right.
I'm showing that his 2023 out of 372 races, he's winning at a 27% clip. So maybe he's turning the corner a little bit. I don't know. But that's an outstanding winning percentage for a lot of races. But the numbers of this one, strong numbers, especially the last race finished 9th. But even then, you're going 1.5 miles and was leading for a while. Still put up a good number, fast fractions.
All right, so he's not without a chance.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. Graham Motion.
Now, what do you think about Spooky Channel?
Okay. Spooky Channel. That one has even better numbers.
Horse was bought for $10,000. See what I'm saying? You just got
English Channel.
Got to have the luck of the draw. This horse was bought for $10,000.
That's a rate. And it's won on this track. A win in a second and 4 tries. 3 for 7 at the distance. Putting up good numbers.
Rosario stays.
Won the last race. G2. They're not without a doubt. I like them. From what I've seen here of the others. Both of these, 9 and 10, have put up big Brisnet numbers here.
9 has the 9 has a little bit more race shape than the 10.
Yeah.
The 10 has run classy races, grade 1. So, Manny's got to make a good trip. He's capable. Sometimes he lets me down a little bit, Franco.
Yeah. I was surprised. I haven't been watching many of the Naira races right now with all the big races and the Derby season, etc. The small fields at Aqueduct in the winter, and I'm just surprised here seeing Manny Franco with a 27% winning percentage. So he's riding excellent right now.
Yeah.
So maybe figured something out. We'll have to see. But yeah, I like the numbers, and I like definitely the pace numbers.
All right, so now I need you to examine the 4 and the 5 horse. What do you feel about Pletcher's? He's always dangerous, Todd Pletcher. He's extremely dangerous.
It's a Mike Rapoli 2-headed monster here.
Yeah.
Out of those 2, I'd be more inclined to go 5. And you got the Ortiz brothers riding these 2.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, 4's coming off a big race. Let me just double check the distance on this race. 1.1 miles. All right. I like your other 2 better than these 2, but it's a tough call here. I'm the breeding side. Sire, Giants Causeway on the 5 on the sire side, and Ghost Sapper on the dam side. I think this one could be pointing to a good race. I think 4 might get hurt by some of the early pace here, whereas 5 gets time to close. And Irod he's running amazing this year, 26% out of 571 races, and I prefer 5 over 4.
I think you're right. I think the 5 is the better shot.
Comes out of the G1.
It comes out of a grade 1, Maker's Mark mile. He's got, and it says here that he's got Go Sapper, he's got the distance, Giants Causeway. which is distance, on the top. He's second out of Giants Causeway, which is on the top and goes out.
Yeah, look at that breeding at 450K.
So, you know what I mean? In terms of the mile and eighth, I think he has an advantage over the 4,
So you're going to get both of these in there, the 4 and the 5, along with the 9 and the 10?
No, I think you got to make a decision. You know what I mean? I think that you definitely have to make a decision here. I like the 5. I like the 5, 9, and 10. But I mean that's my feeling. But I had 4, 5, 9, and 10. But I like the 5, 9, and 10.
So we'll add the 5. I'll put the 5 there, and I'll put the 4 with a question mark.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, but I'm taking them down
And,
here.
yeah, I mean, that basically, and that's that.
Well, I appreciate you doing all the preparation here for these races and providing us not just with the Oaks and the Derby, but some analysis. And you see what Robert puts into these races, and he gives you reasons why he's picking these horses, and
Well, listen,
and
man,
he really looks them over.
we have to bet responsibly. I did browse the card. I did do some research, not a whole heck of a lot of research, but I did look at the card. And I think we have some live horses here, and I think if you play them correctly, especially the long shots, a little win money on them, you got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm. And these long shots, they look legit. And
I mean, if you're looking at what is the what do they got, a pick 4 here or something like that, starting with the American turf. They do have a pick 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if you go with the pick 4, the 9, 10, 11, 9. Oh, I didn't pick the 12. So I didn't pick I didn't look at the 10th. The 10th race is the tricky race. It's a 7 furlong race. The 10th race. White Barrio's running. I mean, you'd have to give me some what your figures, what you like here, because I can't figure this. I mean,
I don't have it either.
Well, you can single in race 10.
You see the figures I was using Brisnet to handicap these races, and I did have some speed figures for the Oaks and the Derby, but not for the other races.
All right, the race 10.
So I didn't look at it.
Cody's Wish on race 10, the 7 horse, looks impossible to beat.
Oh, really?
Cody, that would be my single for the day. Yeah. 10,
and so there you go.
Yeah.
So the only reason you really didn't like the 10th was let me just bring it up for a second and give you my
2 by 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 6, 12, 18. So $18. It's an $18. Let me see here.
There are a couple in here that have some numbers that look just at a quick cut. 7 is outstanding. It's 1 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the last 8. So you give us a fair single. It's 4 for 4 at this track. Mott Williams, Junior Alvarado has been riding it all the time. He's won 4 in a row. Alvarado up on every time. And do I want to go anywhere else? If I had to go somewhere else, I mean, 1 White Barrio has some nice numbers. It could get a little. I could see how this could get a little tricky because I see the 1 has some good numbers. I mean, 10 is running good right now. Michael Maker.
Mm-hmm.
10 and 1. I mean, if I was going to mess around with trying to beat it, I mean, 1 and 10 would be the ones I'd consider for this race. But yeah, the 7 is going to be real difficult. And the 1 hasn't done his best running at this place. Tough. Yeah, I sort of got the 7 down as a single there from you for race number 10.
Okay, so let me just just give you an idea of the
White Albario is scratched. I just saw that, Tricia. Thank you. So the one is scratched.
5, 9, 10, race 11. Five, 9, 10, and let me see, 1 second. 8, 14, 17. 8, 14, 17. Okay, so a 50-cent pick 4 with our horses will cost you $9.
Hey, and it could turn out to be a juicy one there, and have some fun with it. And that's with that 7 as a single, right?
$1 pick 4 is gonna. Yeah, that's right. $1 pick 4 is gonna cost you $18. Not a bad pick 4. If one of these bombs come in, you're in like Flint. $1.
Are you now? You've had a big hit on this supers pool. Are you alive? Did you do any not supers pool, futures pools? Did you have any future plays this year?
I didn't do any futures.
I didn't.
I don't know what it was, because there's so much stuff scratches, and I just don't like the way it's done anymore. I don't basically like the way it's done in America, the futures, because the horses can go off in the beginning at 25-1, but by the end of the future time, whatever that time span is on the calendar, whether it's 2 weeks or a week and a half before they close the pool, if I bet 25-1 and the pool can go down to 8-1, I originally bet 25-1. I lose my 25-1, and they don't lock that in. Now in Europe, and also with I know when they were in New Jersey, the Irish website, whatever it was, I forgot the name of it. They gave you the original odds. So if you got that in Europe, they do give you the original odds that you bet. They're locked odds. They're fixed odds, and that's why I don't like the. That's why when I went to Las Vegas and got 125-1 on Nyquist, that was a great bet because it was locked. I had the ticket in my hand, and I wasn't at the mercy. Now, a great example of that is Justify. Justify was 10-1. Before, he never ran as a 2-year-old. Just before the pool closed, the day before the pool closed, he went from 10-1 to 5-1. I didn't get the 10-1 odds. I put 100 to win on him. I didn't get 10, and I feel that's wrong. I mean, it's just somehow the betting system here is not. In Europe, it seems to be they're much more for the bettors. They realize how tough it is. So it's even there's no place. There's place and show in Europe. So if you bet place, you still get the show bet. You understand? So
yes,
the middle bet is locked in here. You don't get the if you bet place and he comes in third, you don't win anything. In Europe, if you bet place and he comes in third, you still win something. You understand?
Yes.
So there's only two. There's win and show, but the show is almost like a place in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's being fair because it's so tough. That's my feeling. I don't know about how you feel, but
Yeah, I didn't put any super futures plays in either this year, and it's tricky. You can catch a good score sometimes, but sometimes your horse scratches or doesn't qualify, or who knows. But okay, Bobby, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for viewing here.
I really didn't see it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If we talk too much, excuse me. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, thanks so much. And we want to close this show with a clip from The Sopranos, Robert Funaro as Eugene Pontecorvo here. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. Let your friends, racing friends, know about it. We'll probably have some good plays in here that get the job done.
If we hit a few winners, we'll be back on a post show. If not, well, We'll see you next time.
So let's get
Victory
this.
has 1,000 fathers, but defeat is an orphan. That's it.
All righty, you can hear Robert Funaro as Eugene Pontecorvo on The Sopranos, seasons 3 to 6. Enjoy the clip, everybody.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
And thanks, you're welcome, Bobby, and thanks again.
Okay.
Tony
Bye-bye.
cartridges now. You're not skimming enough from this shop.
Fucking brother sells them out of his trunk.
Jesus.
So, Patsy, the necklace, how'd it go over with the Guma?
Beautiful. With the little emeralds, she fucking loved it. First he gave her the emeralds, then he gave her the pearls.
I got Ebel watches, too. Earrings, whatever you need.
My girl's birthday's coming up. Some rack on that girl.
Yeah, if you can get past the sideburns.
You should talk. That skank I saw you with, this girl's fucking mustache, it must have been like kissing a fireman.
Well, you ought to know, sweetie.
What'd you say?
Nothing, what? We're just breaking balls.
Finn, what time's that game tonight?
8 o'clock, I think.
I'm gonna take a piss. Do me a favor, huh? Hold this.
I know that was coming.
You're right. I'm sorry. I meant to hit you in the fucking mouth. Hey, yo. Gene, relax.
You okay?
All right, come on.
You made your point.
Felicia, one ambulance.
Use your own phone. I'm busy.
You've been sick all day. Why don't you take the day off?
What about him? One of these civilians calls the cops?
What? I think I seen a couple of niggas running that way.
Oh, yeah, those two guys.
Need to rest. Want some water?
Okay. Love is the answer.
That was tremendous. Thanks again, Bobby, and everyone for viewing. Have a good night.
Give peace a chance. Take care, Alan. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.